Good afternoon, and welcome to another week, a live show of the Grand Boulevard Coalition Drug-Free Community Talk. My name is William Penn, and I am the president of Grand Boulevard Coalition. I'd like to thank you guys for coming back out and spending a half hour of your busy schedule and your busy day with me. And I'd like to say, isn't it wonderful weather out there today? My God, this has probably been one of the best summers weather-wise that I can remember, and I've had a couple of summers here in Chicago. We'd like to start off this week by welcoming all of our students back to CPS, Chicago Public Schools, and we hope that all the schools and all the students got up and got out and got to school on the first day, and actually every day, but to help and show that we're excited about all the wonderful things that CPS is doing for our community and our schools to educate our children. We just want to give them all a shout out and wish you guys a very good year for the upcoming school year. We also would like to bring up that the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers are performing today or having a game tonight. And as most people would say, go Bears. We're hoping that everyone is safe and enjoying themselves out at the NFL experience and get a chance to maybe see Meek Mills, who's doing a lot of community. He's a community activist and working in wrongful people who are wrongfully convicted in prison and getting them out, and also shedding light on how the NFL can partner with community organizations that they've been doing all week long and making sports and community involvement top of mind for professional ball players, a lot who we look up to and our youth who are trying to aspire to be athletes and very well educated students who are going off to high school and college and so on and so forth. So welcome to Chicago, the NFL. I also would like to, was given a note when I was walking in that we having a wonderful contest that you could get more information on our website and on our Facebook page. Is tell us why you say no to drugs. As you know, our mantra is most youth don't use, and we're doing a media contest. And with that media contest, we would like for you to utilize any form of media that you feel comfortable with and tell us why you don't use drugs, plus why your friends around you don't use drugs. Send that information or submit your entry by no later than midnight, September 23rd, 2019. And a panel will judge who have some of the best ideals in artwork or media or poetry or whatever you want to do that you feel comfortable with. And the winners would have, first prize is a $200 Visa gift card. Second prize was a $150 Visa gift card. And third prize is a $100 Visa gift card. I will be promoting this every Thursday for the next 2 weeks leading up to this. But this is very important. And not only that, usually when they have contests like this, only 30, 40, 50 people do it, and so your odds of, if you do good stuff, your odds of being one of the top 3 finalists would definitely put some money in your pocket. So that's all the information on that. And if you always want to know, you can go to our Facebook, follow us at Grand Boulevard Prevention Services Facebook page to get more information about the contest, things that we'll be at, and wonderful opportunities. So, welcome back. Let's start the conversation this week off on how we have our kids, students are going back to school, and how they hopefully had a very restful and peaceful summer, and they read for 20 minutes every day like they're supposed to. But hopefully they're going to school stress-free. I've got to go around to several schools on the first day of school helping out, and I found that there was still a little confusion of where students were going to school and if they were going to make it in on the first day of school. So I'm hoping that all that stress has been relieved and all children are at the schools that they want to be at and that they're starting their educational process this year. How do you guys think about CPS starting so late with all the other schools starting having 2 or 3 weeks jump on them, and they start right after the holiday, and they go kind of deep into the summer? Does it feel like you and your students had a long summer or a decent summer to be able to unwind and get your minds right for school? If you're out there and you're listening, you're like, this strike a nerve, hopefully you give us a call today at 312-738-1060. Again, 312-738-1060. Now that we're having our kids are back at school, we want to definitely stress the drug-free community, along with that goal with alcohol, cigarette smoking, and of course our new nemesis, the vaping, which is basically cigarette smoking with a electronic pen. I hope that we're telling our students and our kids not to do these things, of course, but to show them with examples on what's happening on the news with people having lung problems, and actually some young man died from inhaling too much smoke from his vaping pen. So something that was supposed to be maybe a little better and a little cleaner for you to do to kick the habit of cigarette smoking has now turned into an epidemic where it's now public enemy number one in trying to squash it or at least slow it down. And our youth are using it more and more. It has become very inexpensive to hop on this bandwagon, so a lot more people, and we see in our community in the Grand Boulevard area that more of the students are vaping and using that besides purchasing cigarettes, which wound up being a little bit cheaper. So, excuse me, it'd be good to know what you guys out there think about that, and what can we do as a group to not have youth participating in stuff along those lines. And on that note, my good friend Russell Walker gave me a flyer and asked me to come out and support his event. And so I just want to throw it up here right quick and let everybody know that the Russell Walker Foundation Youth Sports Camp Picnic, celebrating and recognizing youth participation in youth sports camps over the summer. They will be having their Grand Boulevard Prevention Service support another adventure for safety in the community. The 43rd will be at 43rd and State Street, recognizing the power of baseball this Saturday, September 7th, from 11 to 4 p.m. And we will be there doing youth surveys, getting youth opinion on what they feel about some of the stuff that we're doing and some of the positive stuff that's going on in the community. So if you have a youth and you guys participated in sports this summer, this might be the opportunity after 1 week of school to let off a little steam and come out and see what's going on this Saturday, September 7th. They will be at the park at 43rd and State Street. I will be there in the morning, and we'll be doing surveys and passing out positive literature to keep the ball rolling while we head into this new school year. One thing I would like to do, we had a lot of feedback off of the last visitor we had from the Chicago Recovery Community Coalition, and how people was impressed with how the coalition has grown from 10 people to almost 30 people, and is really helping addicts and recovery on the west side. And now other tentacles of people are coming to the rescue of helping people from homeless to food to even clothing to help them do job readiness training. So we just want to make sure to thank the people who came out and talked to us on their event. And we also found out that they're doing their second Black Tie Recovery Gala. It's going to be September 15th from 4 to 10 p.m. at El something Blasio. I cannot pronounce that banquet hall, but as my people are laughing at me. But it's at 4628 West Washington Boulevard in Chicago, Illinois 60644. It's a Black Tie Gala. You can go to the CRCC website. That's Chicago Recovering Community Coalition. and try to support them. Tickets are only $60, which is very inexpensive for Black Tie Gala. I know that we purchased a couple to be supporting of what they're doing, and we will definitely be an audience. I will be sporting a tux, I think, for this wonderful occasion, which is a rare thing. So, if you guys are out there and you want to support something good that's happening in your community, and this community would be the west side of Chicago, check out CRCC and see what they got going on. And I apologize for not knowing the name of that banquet hall, but once somebody tell me the right name, I will definitely mention it. And I think it's the 15th, so I will be back on the air before the actual event, so I'll make sure I have that then. Alrighty. Well, everybody know that we have a new thing. I think this is the third year, a day of service. We are all in our community are very well known about the Martin Luther King Day of Service, which happens coming up again in 2020. But we also have one that I think this is the fourth year, which is the 9/11 Day of Service. And we all know that infamous day, I think back in September 11th, it was 2001, and what happened with the World Trade Center and the two towers coming down. And so people have come together and band and said, let's make this a day of service where people can go back out and help their communities and show that we are Americans and that we all are sticking together and working together, and things like 9/11 won't stop us and keep us moving. And so I'd like to see what you guys are maybe doing if you didn't know about it, or if your school's doing something. We have a wonderful small crew of AmeriCorps people who are looking and putting together our plans on what we're doing, and which obviously we'll be doing something, in my case, in the Bronzeville, the greater Grand Boulevard area. But if there's something that you guys got going on and looking for some support, please reach out to us on our website or Twitter at GBC Coalition, and we'll be glad to take a look at it as an opportunity for us to come out and help and support what you're doing. A lot of times we do simple things, from making hygiene kits for the homeless, where we get plastic bags and buy a bunch of stuff and put them in a bag, and then we go out doing the 4-hour time that we're actually giving back, and we drive around to where we know their homeless people are and give them toothbrushes and toothpaste and combs and stuff like that, stuff that they don't have, and a bottle of water so they can keep their hygiene up to help them in their time of need. Sometimes we go out with the Safe Passage of Schools, and we help support the Safe Passage people by going out and buying Dunkin' Donuts if it's a cool day, and we just drive by and offer them a donut just to give them some nourishment while they're out there, because they're watching our kids going to and from school each day, 5 days a week. Sometimes we go and take youth, and we go to seniors living facilities and centers, and we work out where we talk to the seniors and have a time or opportunity for them to tell us wonderful stories about some of the stuff that they've gone through from a positive perspective, living in the many years that they have lived in, and tell us about history from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, where a lot of us don't know anything about history around that time. So those are just some of the things that we like to do on that Martin Luther King National Day of Service, and now with our 9/11 National Day of Service. We'll be doing stuff along those lines, and like to hear from you guys and hear what you guys might be doing. And again, just reach out to us on our Twitter or our Facebook and let us know. And you never know, we might show up to your event and help support what you're doing. So I want to definitely make sure that I get the word out for that. Let's see what else we got going on. As you guys know, the last Saturday in September is our fourth annual, but in our second year, but our fourth Opioid Summit number 4. It's happening the last Saturday of September. More details to come forward next week, but it seems like as it's becoming to be putting together a really wonderful opportunity and time for fellowship, for people to come out and see what are some of the latest techniques and tools of the trades that are out there for help squash or at least keep at bay this opioid crisis, and especially in our community where we have prayer circles and have people to come around, and we want people who are either suffering through it or completed or and their family too to come out and have an opportunity to talk us through what they're going through or what they've gone through, so we can learn from them and be able to utilize that as information and strengthening us in our everyday needs and struggles that we go through. We also will have our wonderful friends from CRCC. They want to come out and be able to teach people how to use the Anoxacil drug and how to administer it, and have some new ambassadors in our community. So if we see somebody pass out because of a drug overdose in our community, the greater Grand Boulevard area, and in my case around the Brownsville community and around IIT, where we'll be having our event, you can come out and definitely learn about that and leave with a package. So if you see something, not only can you say something, but now you see something, you can spring into action and be known as a first responder on the front lines of keeping people safe and keeping people alive. So that's really a good thing. And then we're working with our youth. We're trying to make sure our youth are more empowered this year. And we're starting by having surveys going out this Saturday at the event on 43rd and State Street, and throughout the next 2 months on what youth needs and how they can put together a town hall where we'll be having a youth-led town hall this fall, either at IIT or at Diet High School, on subjects and matters that they're concerned, and having powerful people that they can ask questions to where they can get some answers to help solve some of their problems and get some solutions to what they're trying to do. So those are all the wonderful things that we're doing coming up in the next couple of this month. And we have those events. We also have a mother and daughter paint circle from our friends over at 41 Girl, in conjunction with Girls Like Me in the Washington Park. We had one 2 weeks ago. That was a wonderful event. The artwork is up at 41girl.com if you want to take a look at it, and the 41 Girl Facebook page. But some of our small teens and tweens got out on the paint, and they didn't want to stop. They wanted second canvases, but they spent quality time learning about how paint make them feel. And when they got done, they were interviewed and they got to talk about their piece. It was just wonderful to see the sparkle in their eyes when they were talking about their piece and what made them come together and do those particular paintings, which is very, very wonderful to see. So we're going to be doing that again September 26th at Washington Park from 5 to 7. And we look forward to mothers and their teens and tween daughters to signing up. It's free. We only have easels for 10 mom and daughter pairs. Please come to the 41 Girl Facebook page or the Grand Boulevard Coalition Facebook page, and just leave a note there that you would like to be a part of that. We also have a meal there, so you don't have to worry about grabbing something to eat and then coming. Just come there, grab something to eat, paint, fellowship, listen to music, and it's a part of the Safe Neighborhoods program. Let's see what else we got going on. We got a lot of stuff going on, and the last couple of weeks when I was here live, I always try to emphasize a couple of things, and so I'll go there right now. One, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and our minds, making sure we're getting up at a proper time and drinking water and getting our sleep. And if we're not sleeping well, go find a doctor who can help you work through the problem that you're having about sleeping. Please drink plenty of water and fluids. Keep hydrated. During these weird dog days of summers is happening, so it was pretty warm even though it was 70 degrees today. We want to make sure that you're okay. Make sure we're out there when we're leaving, going to and from work. We're saying hello, good morning to people. Let them know I see you, you see me, and that we are acknowledging that and making sure that ones are okay. And then we also want to make sure that our kids are getting to and from school on time and they have the proper nourishment that they need. And right now we're at a part where you can sign up at school for free lunch if that's something that you qualify for. Make sure you get your form in because they now have breakfast, lunch, and in some schools I found they have an after school little meal that gives your child now 3 meals before they even get home. So if there's problems or you're running late and stuff, you don't have to worry about your child Monday through Friday getting, especially if they're going to Chicago Public School, getting a good meal to keep them nourished and keep their minds right while they're going through school. Those are the things I'd like to talk about and make sure everybody knows. What do you guys think that's going on out there? Are you enjoying the weather? Are you seeing good things coming out of City Hall from our mayor? Do we see the new monies that are flowing through CPS? I know the teachers are trying to consider striking, but capital improvement, and we have the new wonderful school in Inglewood that's a STEM school that will start producing in 4 years some great students who can go off to colleges, hopefully in STEM programs, where we can have us some more African American and Hispanic American engineers, because there's a shortage of engineers in general, but it's always good to start filling those pipelines with people of color that looks like us and think like us, because those jobs pay 6 figures, and you know what I always say, if you got a 6-figure job in a community that you love, you're going to come back to that community, you're going to buy a home in that community, and that community is just going to grow by leaps and bounds because that's what you're doing, and you're helping, and you're giving back, and you're giving back by helping yourself, and that's the best give back when you are definitely helping yourself. I also wanted to remind people that our Grand Boulevard, we still have a couple of committees that looking for leadership. Our data work group is still looking for somebody to head that up, and how we can correlate all this data that we're receiving and getting, and how we can manipulate those data points to showcase the good work that we're doing, and how we can continue to do those good work and ask for more help and resources. If we need more help and resources, people might start telling us that in the Bronzeville community and the greater Grand Boulevard community, that they have so much services and stuff that we don't need no more. We're a community on the upswing, and now we need to stop dealing with a certain type of person and maybe deal with a new type of person. Maybe stop dealing with the middle class, that we're now dealing with upper middle class, and how the children have so much to do that they don't even have free time to breathe, which is always a wonderful thing, but it's taxing on the parents, it's taxing on the children, and how they're dealing through that to get them ready for college, because college could definitely become a time where the child is on their own and they could have a nervous breakdown because of all the things that they need to get done. But by keeping them busy 24/7, 7 days a week here, now while they're in high school, it should be a piece of cake. And our good friends over at Chicago Community Colleges, the CCC, would definitely want us to know that your child do not have to go away to college. They can stay here as part of our drug-free community and go to junior college here, get their 2-year degree. And they maintain a B in high school, and I think a B in college, the first 2 years is free. When they graduate, they can go off to a 4-year university with their 2-year under their belt, and no cost to themselves, or they don't have to pay nothing back once they graduate with these nice degrees. They're giving me the thumbs up that I have 30 minutes left. So in this 30 minutes of this really went so fast. I had so much more to talk about. I just want to make sure that, let me throw up the flyers one more time. Just remember, most youth do not use media contests. We want you to come up with media to showcase why you or your friends and your crew do not utilize drugs, alcohol, and stuff. There's more information. It must be submitted by midnight, September 23rd, 2019. And the prize gifts I wish I can enter is definitely there. So it would be well worth your time. My good friend Russell Walker Foundation, they're having a youth sports camp picnic celebration and recognition youth participant in sports. And that's going to be again 43rd and State Street, September 7th from 11 to 4. I would definitely be there around 11 o'clock doing surveys. Thank you for your time and effort, and I see and hear and talk to everybody next week. Have a good one and be safe.